Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. This one's pretty much going to be, as I would like to say, as short as possible. Because realistically, I don't plan to really stay that much on this topic. I just wanted to bring up a few things and see other people's feelings about this because it is a live stream versus it being a stand still video. Also, I want to say much love, respect, and appreciation to any individuals out there that came through agreeing or disagreeing, that decided to come directly through to that video, which is the one that you see in front of you, the small picture, and wanted to list their opinions, right? So, oddly enough, as you know, part of the course, whenever I happen to speak on subjects, especially when I'm advocating, right, in a multitude of ways for the safety of people's sons, their fathers, brothers, uncles, grandfathers, things of that nature out there. There's going to be some disagreements that's going to take place. You're going to have a lot of people that feel that, oh, this, that, and the third, and all these other types of good things, right? So if we take, hey, what's up, Pink? So uh let me see. Jacob said, I knew they wouldn't like your response. People like stupidity, I suppose. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Will? What is up? What is up? So these are just a few of the responses. You might have to zoom in on your end to see it. But these are just a few of the ones that I was able to capture. And this is out of, let me see at this moment in time. Let me just refresh the page on my end. Because at the time, I think it was about 100 and something that was there. As of today, there's about 180 comments, about 3,591 views directly on the video, right? And a few of the comments that I was able to get, and I'm going to leave the most important one directly for last, and I'm going to place a video directly with that one, right? Uh, Person up above, Kingdom said, yeah, don't get your hopes up. Pro black doesn't mean black women. They're always misogynist, right? That person at the top is referring to me, trying to state that my content is red pill, that I'm a misogynist, that I am not for black women or anything like that, right? Next person, Love K1 said, thank you so much for exposing your true ideology. Now I know not to subscribe or watch anything else, right? So I'm showing these comments off because, as I've stated to people before, I have a lot of people that sit idly by, either in live streams quietly, or directly on the channel, and they will specifically wait. They'll see all of the other content up there and they won't say anything about that content. They won't leave a comment or anything like that. They'll specifically wait for the moment to magically, quote unquote, be offended in order to let themselves be known and to then finally make a comment. And then when they do make a comment, now they're trying to put up this bat signal as like, oh, here I'm a woman or a black woman, and I don't like what it is that he is saying. And like the other person said, he's a misogynist, and because we know his true ideology and his true his final form, we need to exit and not support, right? Mind you, I have more than just this video up, but it'd be like that. Joy said, darn, I didn't realize that this was a red pill channel. Y'all calling him a simp, but there's more simps in the comment section talking about black men dying for being heroes. Where? When? More black men die from being villains towards one another. Shout out to Bro for not being a simp and a expletive, right? Black people need to learn how to correct each other without it resulting in violence, how it used to be. Now, I want people to know that within the comments that I was able to see, I saw a lot of people trying to call, me a variety of names. You have people like this that want to try to goad or have black men feel a certain type of way about their thought process, about their safety and their life. Because the main thing that I tried to get through, because I have another video that is actually a response video. It's a little bit longer, but in the video, I tried to convey as much as possible that if you have black men directly in your life, and these are your protectors, I'm talking about this is your husband, this is your fiance, your brother, this is your son, your uncle, your father, the most important men in your family, right? These are your protectors. This is not the protectors for everybody else, right? Because every woman out here has men in their family which are supposed to protect them. That's how that is supposed to work. And then together, that is basically the wall. And my main thing that I was trying to convey was that your husband, your son, who is supposed to protect you at the end of the day, should not be out here trying to recklessly throw away his life for a woman that doesn't care about him. Again, now if your son is with his fiance or his girlfriend, his daughter, things of that nature, that's vastly different, right? Those are women that are going to remember him. Those are women that are going to honor him. Those are women that are going to carry his message and his memory up until they no longer can. 99.9% of the rest of the women out here are not going to do that. They're not going to honor that man. They're not going to remember his birthday. They're not going to show up to the funeral. They're not going to pay for the medical arrangements. They're not going to decide to leave the guy who ended your husband or whatever important male in your family's life because he decided to go out there and try to save her, inevitably to end up with his life lost, and that woman still being with the man who took his life, and that put her in that predicament, and that's further being negative and detrimental in her life, right? And I felt as though that at least thought that I conveyed that enough. But even with me trying to convey that, you still have people stating that they don't care about none of that. If you're a man at the end of the day, you should be out here just frantically and recklessly. Whenever a woman says that she needs help, go out there and put yourself on a fire. Just go do it. Another person, Chassis, said, the dude in the video, you're a real man, a dying breed. Don't listen to these feminine men who hate women. Now, I want people to understand, and this is a woman who said this, right? She directly said that the men who are disagreeing with how the guy acted in the video that I showcased on this channel, she wanted to call every man feminine, right? Femininity is a part of a woman, but now you're trying to apply that positive thing as a negative onto men. So are we to basically say that femininity is a negative now? Like what are we doing? This is why I tend to tell people that I don't think people really think out and thoughtfully just critique the things that they write before they do it. Because she just literally, as a woman, listed herself as a negative. And then on top of that, wanted to basically say that anybody who disagrees with a man recklessly throwing his life away for a woman, just randomly just going out there and do it, you hate women. How do we get there? How did automatically, because of a disagreement, that men now hate women? Because we want to think before we act, like most men tend to do. Logical men think before they act, right? But they're like, no, 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 don't even think, just do it because it's a woman. Just sit up there and do it. Don't think about it, right? She said that these are hellbound, worthless people, meaning the men who neglect their natural instinct to protect women. You are a real man, for real. These other dudes, you're not like them. They want to hate on women, but expletive up around men. Um, I'm a little bit confused on how this now became like a versus battle. So at one angle, the men that disagree hate women. We're misogynist and we're feminine. But femininity is a trait found in women, and that is a positive. Anyways, so then now it's that men don't want to stand up to other men. Men stand up to other men all the time. This is how men get into fights. This is how men end up in hospitals. Like I'm not sure what universe people are specifically coming directly from, but it's not making any type of sense. Like I said, some of the comments that I was able to read, it just did not make any type of sense at all. And I know for a fact that a lot of people were emotional when writing, right? Another person said DJ Apex is an exceptional man. He is very, let me see. He said DJ Apex is an exceptional man. It's very harmful to the community for the majority of men to verbally assault this man just for defending some woman. You're in the same group of men who deem so much respect from women. Tell me you're a coward without telling me you're a coward. Black men need to spend more energy correcting and controlling these violent men in our communities instead of trying to control women. Nowhere in the video did I talk about trying to control women. I mean, maybe somebody who rewatched the video, maybe you can sit up there and tell me. Maybe I did. Maybe it's a 50-50, right? Because I do a lot of videos. But as I stated to you guys before, you have a lot of people, whenever they disagree, and especially if it's a topic dealing with women, a lot of people want to use certain types of words in order to have other guys engage with their comments, in order for them to have them speak. Because people think that a lot of men out here are of such low intelligence that they'll just decide to, oh, let me throw a word out there and I'll get a whole bunch of men to sit up there and respond. Let me call them an expletive. Let me call them a coward. Let me do this. Let me do that. Yeah, no, that's not how that works. Like I said, if you actually wanted to have dialogue with men, you would actually have dialogue with men. You would talk to them as a human being instead of trying to speak as a child, trying to poke and prod a dragon. Like that makes no sense. That literally makes no sense, right? And then when you have the right dude willing to crash out, now you want to sit up there and say, "Oh, this is what I'm talking about with men X, Y, Z," and da da da. But you started it, right? But a lot of people don't want to take accountability when they happen to start certain things, right? Next person said, "Many more black men lose being the villain as well. Black men take pride in dying being a disgrace, but hate dying being a hero. Make it make sense." What does that even mean? That literally makes no sense. There's a lot of black men out here that have died being a hero. Do you know any of those black men's names? I bet you don't. But I've covered videos. I've showcased a video where a black father had to go to a hotel of which her daughter was not even supposed to be with this guy. I think the father even had a conversation telling her that. He even had a conversation with the young man as well. Inevitably, some type of verbal or physical altercation happened in between the daughter and the boyfriend. The daughter, inevitably, of course, as always, called the father up, and the father, being a father, showed directly up. Do you know what happened to that father? That father is now dead. Do you think that any of these women and any of these men up here are going to speak on that father, on how brave he was, and they're going to make sure to keep his name up for the rest of the duration of? No, they're not. Do you think that they're going to check in on a daughter or the medical bills? Nope. They're not going to do that. Do you think that these same people that are advocating for black men to just go out there and risk their lives, or do you think that they're going to show up to the court appearance to make sure that the young man that took the father's life is going to be away or get a death penalty? No, they're not going to sit up there and do that. They're going to move on and carry on because it has nothing to do with them. There are grave sites of black men for generations that have done the right thing and lost their lives, and nobody is up here at all. In general, I'm talking about looking all over the black community. Nobody is making some type of a viral memorial for any of these men. Nobody's pedestalizing these men. Nobody's putting their names on t-shirts hundreds and thousands deep. So it's crazy to me to think that on one end people want men, specifically black men, to go out there and risk their lives, but at the same time you're not going to get anything for it, nor is your family. You're not even going to be remembered. And this is why I stated before, the best thing, your best interest as black men to do is to protect those that you deem important. That is your life at the end of the day. Just like a lot of women say, my body, my choice, and respectfully so, they are 100% correct. As a black man, it is your life, your choice. But I'm going to tell you, as a black man, for your best interest, you have a daughter, you have a son, you have a wife, a fiance, a girlfriend, you have a grandmother, you have an aunt. Those are the most, out of this whole planet. Those are the most important women, because those are the only women out here that are going to actually love you the way that you deserve to be loved. Ain't no other woman out here going to be able to do that. I promise you. I 100% promise you, because they don't have an invested interest. They don't see you as worthy and all this other type of stuff. So, like I said, the most important women that you have are the ones that are the closest to you, the ones that are in your family, and especially if you have a daughter, right? Next person said, wow, men are really scared of each other. Women need to protect themselves and leave men alone. Now, this is slightly delving into the feminist ideology thing, right? Are men scared of other men? No, we are wary of other men. We are concerned when we have other men directly around, because you gotta, make sure that, another dude don't specifically have a problem with you or whatnot or whatever. All this, like I said, anything can basically take place and happen. It's been like this since the beginning of time. This is not nothing brand new, right? Then on the other hand, she said that women need to protect themselves, right? I, as a black male content creator, have specifically told women out here, women are the more of the population of the planet. So for a lot of women out here to not wanting to arm up, that doesn't make any type of sense. There's all types of dangers directly out here. I've told women before that, yo, there's not, well, specifically I've told black women before that there's not going to be an 18 wheeler full of black dudes just waiting outside of your house just in case something happens. The police are not going to show up in 2 seconds, right? So at the end of the day, it's you or whoever's trying to break into your house. And from my angle, I'm like, yo, I would rather it be you that is alive that has to explain what took place, what happened, showing ring footage or whatever it is, and you getting your day in court versus being buried. I've stated that. I've advocated for that. But again, like I said before, I'm the villain. So I'm embracing that. So I know that no matter what it is that I happen to state, no matter what videos I happen to make, there's going to be women out there always that are going to neglect, overlook those videos, discount, discredit those videos somehow, some way, and appear directly in my comment sections whenever I have stuff like this and say that, oh, he's a misogynist, he hates black women, this, that. I guess I do. Whatever helps you sleep at night, sweetheart. Whatever helps you sleep directly at night. Another person said, men are afraid to stand up to other men. The easy route is to blame women like they usually do so they won't have to face another man. Who said that? Who said, like, what, like the ideologies that women out here have when it deals with men, like these theories, like it makes no sense. It makes no type of sense. If I, as a man, right, by example, I've commonly told women out here, like, yo, these are the type of men that you go for, these are the type of men that you don't. If you as a woman decide that you don't want to listen to my information, you forego that. I'm literally the source. I'm a book. I'm telling you what it is. And you decide that you know what's best for you, and then you get lumps upside your head. You got a broken leg. Now you're in and out of relationship that you say that you can't get out of. I'm supposed to come through and save you after you decided multiple times to come to me for advice and you didn't want to listen and you ended up in the situation I told you were going to end up in, and I'm supposed to have sympathy and empathy for that because you decided to be stupid. No, I don't care how that sounds. I don't have sympathy and empathy for people deciding to be stupid, knowing the fact that you got men in your family telling you what types of guys to go for, what types of guys not to go for. Like, what are we doing out here? And then you want to try to turn it and say that, oh, all you want to do is sit up there and blame women. I'm going to blame the source of which I gave the knowledge and information to. If I am a book, I'm going to put some scrolls into this vessel, which is you. And I'm going to try to put the best things possible in there, the best knowledge possible, so that you can survive and thrive. You opt to put corrupted information into yourself versus good and great knowledge. Here we are. Here we are. Another person basically said, the kingdom person came back through and they were like, nope, us women just gotta help each other, make some girlfriends and some walking buddies, get a dog and a pew pew, never depend on a man. You see their mindset. Brother, sweet father of Christ. Like I said, there's, as a guy, I've realized that in a lot of instances, there's nothing that I can do or say in order to make a lot of women out here listen. You have a lot of women out here that are hell bent on just trying to be right about everything and trying to disprove other people when the other people are trying to make sure that they are good, that they are going to survive and thrive and have a very long life expectancy. But regardless of that, here we are, right? So we can at least clearly see quite a few of those comments, right? Hold on, I'm just now getting here. Ah, look at that. I love it. You know, the beautiful part is I love. So hold on, how many people we got here? We got about like 60, what, 67 people here. And I promise you, I got some other people that are white directly in the comment section. So I just want to take this time out to point out the fact that there was clear cut of racists that started writing some stuff, and I'm pretty sure some white people are sitting in the background, and y'all again sit idly by as racists come directly through and just write stuff. I just want to point that out. Just want to sit up there and point that out. So I just want to put that out. I'm just gonna leave that up there on my end. I think somebody probably got him at the moment in time, but yeah. Uh he said, "What did you do now?" Oh, yo, what's up, Williams? What is up? What's up? We got Brandon V. World in here. What is going on? Um, I'm not even sure what the person is. We got Brandon V. World said, "Here comes a new challenge." I'm trying to go back through and catch some of the comments just in case I did not see them. Um, let me see. You said DJ Apex was correct in speaking up about the man who was being abusive to the black. I don't know who it was. I don't know if she was black or not. Frankly, I don't care. This is the thing I'm going to sit up there and tell you, and I'm going to stand directly by it. Um, I, for one, at any point in time, I would never sit up there and raise a son and tell him to go out here and recklessly throw his life into the flames for a random woman. I would never tell him to do that. I would never tell him to do that. Because if my son is now gone, that's less protection that the women in the family now have. If I, quote unquote, right, as the husband, decide to recklessly throw my life out for a random woman out here, guess what? Who's going to go out here and protect, my wife, right? Who's going to protect my daughter? Who's going to protect my mother and the women in my family? Nobody, right? And this is the problem that I'm basically stating when we deal with this, right? Everybody has this great theory of like, yo, black man, just rush out there and just go out there and save every woman, right? Go out there and just put your life directly to the flames. But nobody in the black community is Bruce Wayne. Nobody's Batman. Nobody has a contingency plan for if these black men lose their lives for doing what it is that you tell black men to do, who's going to protect the women of that black man's family? And the answer is nobody. Not one soul. Proof of which, let me go to one of the main comments directly on the bottom. You might not be able to just so happen to see it, right? Shout out to Tony Jones, who is a vet from what I was able to get directly in the comment section, right? Because at the time when I captured his comment, there was nobody giving a response. I'm talking about everybody skipped directly. I'm talking about the ones that disagree with me completely skipped over Tony Jones's comment, right? And this is what, and this is a, I'm assuming this is a black man from, what he presented instead. He said this, just one question. Who looks after my wife and my elderly mother if I get my cat pill back out there pretending to be Batman? Question mark. I remember that gas station story or one similar to it. That man left a wife and a small child behind. At the same time, the infamous brick lady was accusing black men of either assaulting her or not riding to her rescue and scammed over $40,000 off a GoFundMe. The fund for that man's financial expenses didn't do nearly so well. Make of that what you will. He brought up such a beautiful and great point that nobody had a response for it. All of the women that came through and wanted to be emotional and disagree with me and some of the other men there had no response for what this married man had to state. And I found that very interesting. I'm like, okay, so y'all want to go through the comments. Y'all want to have disagreements and you want to try to tell men what it is. And we're misogynists, we're evil, we're villains, and this, that, and the third. But you got a married man who was a veteran that not only has made sure to, settle down and get married and create a family, but he also put his life on the line for America, for everybody. So that's not enough. None of those two things are enough. You still want him to do more. You still want him to sacrifice more because you feel that he just hasn't given enough. You need to give over your life, no matter what the instance is. That's crazy. That is 100% diabolical. 100% diabolical. Sham said, "What about the women that hold on? What about the women that start stuff as a trap?" Actually, Sham, I'm glad. Sham, this is why I love you, Sham. This is why. Good job. I love this. So Sham brought up something very interesting, which is going to help me segue directly into the proof that I wanted to talk about. Because if I were to have, I think I might have brought this video up before. I probably did, but a lot of these people that wanted to disagree with me, they tend to, not see this video. They turn to Stevie Wonder directly on this. So I'm going to showcase something. And I know for a fact that a lot of people that disagreed would never pull up to the scene to say that, oh, this, that, and the third, and yada. So let me just get to this, right? Let's just watch this.
That won't even be a thing. Excuse you.
What? You can have it. You can have some manners.
Like I said, excuse you.
You can have some manners.
Like I said, excuse you.
You can have some manners.
Like I said, excuse you.
You see what I'm saying, bro? I should really up. You can call your nigga down here too. What am I saying? You can call him. You got no dumbass. Suck my and y'all niggas just be what? Word of mouth.
Yep.
Thought ass.
Come here.
Suck my ass.
You see that, right?
Wait, why she get on that?
Nigga, cause she was walking. Ask Petey, bro. Petey's my.
She bumped into you with that.
She walked in front of us and she was like.
She was bugging. She said, excuse me. She said, bitch, excuse you.
I said, what?
What's your ad?
What'd I say, Petey?
That's Jay Drench. I don't even know.
I didn't say nothing crazy though the first time, right?
Can you have some manners?
Yeah, I said, can you have some manners? And she also, then she threw her drink at me, dumb. She just started wilding. Yo, bro.
So I just want to, even he spotted it himself. He was like, so yo, y'all just going to sit there and watch this? Exactly. You got women sitting there. Ain't nobody do nothing. Wasn't nobody trying to put hands on her. Now, I want y'all to know, she swung directly on the dude. He never put hands on her. He never put hands on her. Isn't that what all the brave guys say? Like, no matter what a woman do, you never sit up there and put hands on her. It don't matter if she hits you with a tank and shoot you with a AC 130. You never sit up there and do nothing to him. You never put hands. That's what real men do, right? She can strike you with the right hand of God. You don't do nothing. You sit there. You take that. You take that because you're a man, right? So he didn't. He did what everybody else said. He's a real man, right? He didn't sit up there and respond. But who responded for him? No, nobody. Where was the women to sit up there and jump up and to basically fight for him? Nowhere. They saw it. They were sitting. One girl was just sitting up there chilling on somebody's car, just talking on the phone, not caring. But the moment in time that it seemed like the dude was going to move towards her, did anybody hear what the guys were saying in the background? Hold on, chill. Wait. See, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody's there to protect the woman, even when she's in the wrong. And people say that, oh, men ain't out here protecting women. She was dead in the wrong. She socked this dude in the face, threw her drink directly at him. No accountability. Nobody's defending this dude. He's just out there now looking stupid because she decided that this is what she wanted to do. Wow. Crazy work. And this is what I'm going to sit up there and state this to a lot of people out here. A lot of people that got like a lot of these daughters in this age range, y'all are some failures when it deals. I'm not talking about men and women. Y'all some failures when it comes into raising y'all daughters because y'all don't teach them how to keep their hands off of men. Y'all don't teach them how to keep their hands off of men. If he would have responded and just simply slapped her, oh, I promise you, it would have been a police report. Matter of fact, this dude probably would have got shot up. Just to be fair, just to be honest, he would have, some random dude out there would have been like, oh no, I got a sister and I got a mom. I ain't going to stand by and let you do that. Blah, 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 blah. That would have been it. And then you would have had women in the community That's right. Yeah, we don't stand by. We need more men like this. Don't stand by and let a man sit up there and put hands on a woman no matter what she does. Wow. Color me surprised. Color me surprised. Color me surprised. So now it's not over yet because I was able to get her response video. I love response videos. I love when people want to put themselves directly out there on Front Street
So
and
I'm not.
try to explain what it is that they basically stated. Right. And this is why I said before, if I actually made this into a full video, a lot of the people that had a response to me in that video, they would never show up for this video. They would sit idly by. They'll just be a number on the video counter. They wouldn't even make a comment. Or then they'll come through and they'll be like, "Oh, so are you saying that just because of what she did, that it's justification of the zillions of women that have?" Again, anything to justify bad behavior, and that's what tends to happen in these circumstances. And we're going to listen to her justify her bad behavior, no matter what it is that she did. Let's take a listen.
Really in the face. So I'm not sitting here justifying me putting my hands on anybody. Let's just say that right there. So
No,
I
she
was
will.
already amped up at everything because prior to that, me and my friends was walking and this guy starting trying to fight, whatever. So I'm already like amped up after that. Really had a crazy week. Drunk as fuck. 3 drinks in, mixed drinks. I'm done for it. So I'm already got my little attitude because a whole dude was just ready to fight. So then as I walked past him, I'm like, excuse you. Excuse you. What? You got more manners. Through the water. Throwing the water, ain't gonna lie. Too much. Dragged it. Dragged it. I don't got no excuse. Drunk as fuck. Feel me? So what happened was I turned around to go walk away. Mind you, the shit that be aggravating me too, nigga, you outside with a bright ass like cameraman, all in people's shit, like everybody face. That shit is not drinking and shit. That shit's too much for me personally. That shit was just too much. It's all in the way and shit. I'm just like, bruh. So why I'm walking away, the nigga like, you say, I hear bitch. That's all I heard. Crack them. That's it. What are you talking about? All I heard was bitch. The water, yes, understand. The water was too fucking much. It was. So at the end of the day, I said my apologies and shit already. So what's done is done. I can't take nothing back. But and one thing about it, I'll never put my hands on anybody and don't expect them not to hit me back. I expect anybody to hit me back. If I put my hands on you, I expect you to hit me back. I'm not saying just go out here and put your hands on men and shit like that. But my mom, no, that's not even it. I got uncles, brothers, like, you know what I'm saying? No. But word on my mouth, I'm not justifying what I did, but be for real. You damn near antagonized me a little bit. I'm sweet as fuck. I'm a little mean, but I'm still sweet as fuck at the end of the day. I'm not
She's
just
saying
about
that
to
she
be
gave
out
a
here wilding like
justification.
that.
He
No.
antagonized me.
I feel like the nigga was just trying to put me on the spot. So I reacted. You feel me? And I'm drunk. It's like, at this point, I really don't even know what I'm doing for real. I'm ready on 10. Dude trying to fight before that. I'm on 10. And the next nigga say something crazy to me. You see what happened? Like, no. But once again, like I said my apologies or whatever. Y'all can get off my... Thank you. I'm not saying I was right. Dead ass wrong. But I still did it at the end of the day. Drunk as fuck. The demons was in me. Sorry.
So we heard that. Her justification that she was drunk, she was mad at another situation dealing with another guy. Now you would have to think, why didn't she decide to act that way with that guy? She more than likely saw that the other guy, that whoever made her mad, he was obviously taller. He would obviously take her down if he even just pushed her. So she thought it would be in her best interest to just walk away and to just do whatever. So then once she saw another guy, she was like, "Oh, I'm about to throw out my frustrations directly on you, and you're light anyway. So y'all don't really do anything anyway. So I know I can do whatnot or whatever, and it'll be that at the end of the day." She sized them up real quick, and this is why she reacted. Notice how as she stated directly to you, another guy before this made her mad. This is why she's all amped up. But she didn't sit up there and get rowdy. She didn't try to punch that dude. She didn't try to get physical. She didn't try to do this and that because she knew what it would have been. She would have probably been on a milk carton somewhere. So again, she found somebody that she deemed as a target, that she deemed to be soft, And she went directly off on him and hauled off and socked him in the face. Got physical real quick. Was like, and what? So what you gonna do about it? And again, I want people to note that all of these people that disagree with me underneath the video, let me just give this right there. Right, this video right here that I did, all of the people that disagree with me, I promise you, they would tell black men out here, they would tell their sons, they would tell their uncles and their fathers, go out there and defend that woman. Make sure that that black man doesn't sit up there and give a response. Make sure that he even stops talking no matter what she says. Make sure he doesn't even look in her direction. Because men are violent, men are evil, men are dangerous. Right? So going back to a lot of those comments that a lot of people wanted to say that, men are dangerous, men are violent and misogynistic, where was the violence from that man in that video after he was confronted, after he was goaded, after he was marked as a target, after he was physically assaulted? Where was the violence from that man? And nobody can sit up there and tell me, oh, he didn't do anything because everything was filmed. There's dudes that do stuff all the time, filmed or not. So that's not even an excuse. Where was all of this violence that these people were talking about in the comment section that comes specifically from men? I'm just trying to figure out. Like, it's crazy. It is diabolical. This is why, I wish a lot of times when I happen to do videos that there was a way to, really do a live stream directly with that video so that I could see a lot of those people that leave comments and I can actually respond to them. Because I promise you, somehow, some way, those people will try to find a justification. They'll talk about themselves. They'll start bringing up a situation that they had. They'll bring up a situation of a daughter, of a girlfriend, of a mother. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with that. Like I said, I'm tired of people trying to justify bad behavior. Everybody always talks about, these young men out here, how it is that they're being raised and rah 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 and all this other type of stuff and yada yada yada, right? Cool, no problem. Right? I can sit up there and agree. I'm like, yes, something needs to be done. You need to have men in the family have conversations. Right? Men in my family had conversations with me. And I've had conversations with guys that were of my generation during that time frame, during the same age and everything of that nature, right? So again, I did what it is that I was supposed to sit up there and do, and I still carry that with me to this day. But the thing I don't sit up there and see is women taking the same initiative. I see a lot of scapegoating. I see a lot of lack of responsibility and accountability and acknowledgement of the wrong things that a lot of women out here do, especially these young girls. There's tons of videos out here where I see these young girls, early 20s and whatnot. They're just in a guy's face. They're sitting up there poking and prodding a bear, literally. They're sitting up there, trying to buck up and do all of this rah, rah, rah. Like, yo, I really sit up there and mess you up. I really do this out here. I'm really about this life. I sit up there and knock you out. I'm like, you talking real wild as a woman. You talking real wild. And the craziest thing is a lot of dudes, we will let that slide. It's like, yo, you're a woman at the end of the day. I'm not about to take you serious. Now, when you say that to a lot of women, women will be like, "Oh, that's disrespectful. What do you mean you're not going to sit up there and take me serious? You're trying to say that I'm not a threat. You're trying to yes, that's what I'm saying. Because if a man actually looked at you as a threat, you'll be on the floor. You would literally be on the 6 o'clock news, and your parents will be burying you. That's normally how men treat other men when they start talking real slick. You men know that you don't roll up into another dude's face trying to even posture yourself as if you want to fight. It's already on site. It's already, that's how it works. Like I said, a lot of women don't have that comprehension. They don't know the logistics on how this works with men. This is why women just go online saying anything. Anytime a dude disagrees, oh, you're a misogynist, you're evil, you're a villain, you hate women. You don't understand what it's like to even walk as a man. To have to even be able to make it to 18. You don't even understand that. The amount of hurdles, the amount of things that you got to look out for, the amount of traps that are directly there, the amount of fights that you got to try to navigate. Like in certain points, it's an L if you actually win the fight, because guess what? Somebody's going to be looking for some get back. And that get back is going to be with a weapon. It's another L, a double L when you lose a fight. Because not only are you going to get jumped and potentially, put directly in a hospital, now in this day and age, it's going to be filmed, it's going to be directly out there. And then those same people are still going to be trying to poke and prod at you while and trying to goad you into another fight. And that next one will be your last one. Right? And you got to try to navigate all of these things, being a young boy into a young man into a full-fledged man, just so that you could try to make it to 18 and 30. And then people want to try to say that men out here are cowards. No, we're smart. We make smart decisions. Every battle is not meant to be fought. A lot of women don't understand that because, again, this is not the life that they live. And this is why I try to tell a lot of women out here who want to say that, oh, men have it so easy. If I could just be a man for a day. If you were a man for a day, you would be gone. Just to be honest, if you were a man for a day, you would not exist. Because like I said, a lot of women out here have reckless mouths. If they don't understand how reckless their mouth is because they're not in the frame of a man. Like I said, let a lot of these women, somebody needs to do a show. In order to show people what it is, somebody needs to do a show. This is a brilliant idea. Do a show and allow women with reckless mouths who have never been checked to be dressed as men. I'm talking about full on like cosmetics, have a full on face mask and everything as a man. And let them have the same reckless mouth that they got and have them go talk to men and let me know how the outcome of that show is. You'll probably only get like less than 5 episodes because somebody is not going to be here. Somebody is not going to be here. But like I said, people don't understand it. People don't understand it. And like I said, there's a lot of women out here like her that will portray themselves as being nice and meek and feminine and all this stuff. Because like I said, look at how she wanted to present herself and dress. Look at her body position. She got her legs crossed. She has her hands directly in front of her. She got her jewelry on, hair directly to the side. She's trying to portray herself as feminine as possible, knowing the fact that she has the most masculine energy in the room. But this is what happens when a lot of people don't actually read body language and see what it is, the psychological warfare, the things that people are trying to portray. But when you try to tell this to certain people, people are like, no, you just want to say that because she's a black woman, she's dark skinned. You're trying to just say that dark skinned black women are just masculine or manly and da 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 da. And this goes into the white supremacy ideology and the patriarchy and da 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 da. This is crazy. This is crazy. D Money said it'll be canceled on the first show. Yeah, what? 100%. 100%. It will be 100%. It'll be done. Yeah. Like CC Junior said, even pranksters, and these are males. They tried to posture up on guys in real life, and they're no longer here. So this is why I try to tell a lot of women out here, I'm like, you're lucky to be a woman because you can get away with saying a lot of stuff because as men, we're not going to take you serious. Because at the end of the day, we don't really see it as a danger because you're just talking. Even if you decide to sit up there and swing, it's like, all right, whatever. Right? Dudes like, whatever. And guys will sit up there and try to just like restrain her, just push her down and whatnot. But like I said, it's still an L at the end of the day because if a woman like this decided for any woman, I'll put it like this: any woman out here that got sons, let me let you know something. Let your son run into a woman like this, and she decides that she wants to full force try to just haul off and just start swinging on this dude. He takes both of his hands and put them around her arms to restrain her and just push her down. Right, a form of defense. Your son is not going to be here anymore. I'm going to let you know the moment in time, because this is how it always been. The moment in time that a guy tries to restrain a woman chances are going to be very great that somebody's waiting in a cut for a moment like this to prove that they are so much more of a man than everybody else, that they're that real alpha, that real protector, and they're going to annihilate your son. Your son is not going to be here. If your son has kids, welcome to the world of being raised by a single mother, because that's what's going to happen. But like I said, a lot of women don't realize this because either they don't have sons, or number two, they just in general don't even care about men at all, except for the sacrifice. That's it. Like I said, I don't know what to tell people. I don't. And I guess what's going to have to happen, because I'm not going to, I'm going to paint it in this type of light. In order for a lot of women to realize how bad things are, a lot of their sons have to die. That's the best way I can give it to you. In order for a lot of women to actually fully realize the evil that is out here and how certain things lead to other things, a lot of your sons have to die. And I go back to what I stated before, that everybody has to lose in order for people to fully learn, right? Let me see if I actually got the video of Remy Ma, because there's, let me see if I can, is this the video? I think this is the video. Let me see if I can
Like
play
your
this.
mother's ugly? Like your mother's ugly? Oh,
Same thing.
oh, okay.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Just watch.
Yeah, okay. We could test her right now. Right now. Right now, ugly. Everything. Oh, you thought you was gonna see something ugly, bitch. You wasn't. But you wasn't. But you wasn't. But you wasn't. Same here. You see what's up? Same here. You see what's up? Oh, okay. So yeah, this raggedy ass fucking bitch, Remy, like,
Pay attention.
girl, like, you would have thought I did something to you. Realistically, I can never speak to my father again. I can never hug him. I can never kiss him. I can never say nothing else to him. You can see your son. You can speak to him. You can hug on him. You can say whatever.
So let me just clarify what took place. Remy Ma's son, right? Remy Ma's son took the life of this woman's father. She is the daughter. Remy Ma's son took the life of this woman's father. This is why she was telling people on camera that, Remy, you can still sit up there and see your son and hug him and do all of this. I can't see my father. We've seen the type of actions that Remy Ma has committed to, correct? So we can already assess what type of actions her son would commit to. Obviously so, because this is why Remy Ma is outside of the courtroom trying to advocate for her son, trying to support her son, who is a murderer, who took the life of another man. Like I said, a lot of people aren't going to understand up until they're meant to understand. Everybody has to lose in order for people to gain clarity. Because at this moment in time, we're living at a point of, I guess you can consider peace, uh, irregardless of what's going on in the world. So at this moment in time, you have a lot of people that feel that they can just say any and everything directly online, like, "Oh, we hate men, we don't need them," da 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 da, all this other type of good stuff, and rah 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 rah. I guess war actually needs to. I guess the collapse needs to actually happen, because I want to see if the same people who say that they don't need men and all this other type of stuff, I want to see who are they going to depend on when the United States is collapsing. I want to know what neighbors are they going to be running to, who are they going to be leaning on, whose shelters are they going to be at? Because remember, men are evil. We don't we don't care about nobody else, but ourselves, and rah rah rah, all this other type of. Like I said, all of this stuff is just, it's crazy, man. it's 100% crazy. I wish stuff would be better out here, but again, that's just me, living in a mental fantasy versus focusing on reality and what is. A lot of instances, a lot of people would rather have something to complain about. If not, life would be boring because everybody's used to chaos. Everybody's, used to something always happening and going on and all this other type of stuff. I can sit up there and tell you from experience. Being born and raised in Detroit, and for the first time in my life during high school, going to the suburbs, it was very tough for me to go to sleep not hearing anything happening outside because I was used to chaos. My antenna was already I was always just like, yo, I gotta be, just jump up and that whole type of deal because you're used to hearing the fire trucks, used to hearing the ambulance, you're used to hearing cars speeding by, you're used to hearing gunfire, you're used to hearing the police sirens and all of these things, right? All of those were in a sense like a lullaby, right? Those are the things that you were used to. It took me a very long time to get used to silence. Because for me, if silence was happening, that meant that something far worse was going on. At least with the noise and everything, you know what's happening. You hear, shooting and gunfire. All right, somebody had a disagreement, probably some gangs, whatnot, whatever, all this other type of stuff, right? But the moment in time that you hear silence, you don't know what's happening. You don't know what's near, what's not near, right? It's that whole, type of thing, or maybe that's at least the conspiracy theorist, right? Directly in me, right? I don't know. But obviously some things have to transpire in order to reset people's thought process, you know just saying. Anyways, I might as well just watch the rest of this video with the rest of you guys, because this I was going to save this for a different video at a certain point in time, so we'll just watch this and see what this lady has to say.
The fact of the matter is that I see this fucking lady,
I wish I would have edited this
and
before.
she's looking at me with a whole attitude. When I tell y'all ice grilling, as if her son was the victim. Like, miss, where's your remorse? Like, where's your sorriness? Where's your sadness? Like, at the end of the day, I don't care what I go through with nobody. I would never want to see nobody die. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Like, bitch, nobody did nothing to you, you fucking gremlin. And you really acting like you mad about something. Ice grilling somebody. Ugly ass. Then you acting tough in front of a courthouse. Like, bitch, we're gonna go to jail. You been to jail before. I'm sure you don't want to go back, bitch. Like, what are we doing here? Come around the corner. You're really not fucking tough. Like, bitch is mad pussy. Like...
Well, that also goes into one of the other things where Remy has rapped about not fighting but shooting people. So this woman would, in a sense, for all intents and purposes, be correct. And you also got to look at the optics as well. Remy is in front of a courthouse. She wants to film, right? She's supposed to be a thug. She's one of the hardest, ladies out here in the streets. But she's pulling out a cell phone recording. She's not getting off those court steps. She ain't trying to be out there handling business. And this is a person who has done a stint in prison. You can't claim that you're really that hard then, huh? You're not really that tough, like this woman stated. It's crazy. That's some diabolic work. Like a lot of people say, this is why you can't really believe, what a lot of these celebrities like to sit up there and say how it is that they portray themselves, because somebody who's really about that life, when it's on site, it's on site. You whatever happens, whatever happens. Obviously, Remy's like, I like my freedom. I'm not trying to go back in there. Let me pull out my cell phone and start recording you. That's crazy. That is crazy. Gail was like, Remy is too old for that mess. No, she not. This is why she decided to step out on Papoose, even though he stayed directly with her while she was in prison. And she came out, he was still out there with her, and she was with Easy the Block Captain. I think I covered that in a previous live stream. So nah, she ain't too old. She out here still playing games at her old age. She's still playing games like she's 22, 25. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, ma'am, you're basically about 50. I don't know what you're doing out here. You were basically married, and now you going online doing this back and forth type of stuff with Papoose and all this other type of stuff when we already know that you moved on with Easy the Block Captain, right? And then you tried to have Papoose battle your now boyfriend at the same time. Diabolical work. If people don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to go online and look at some of the old footage of Remy when her and Papoose was together. And she was specifically, out of all the battle rappers, she specifically picked out Easy the Block Captain to go against Papoose. And I'm like, look at that here. This did not age well. Now that everybody knows a lot of information, oh boy. It's crazy. It's diabolical. But like I said, Remy is not actually about that life because Clarissa Shields is currently with Papoose, and Remy is not trying to fight Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields has hands. That is Lady T Rex. That is the GWOAT. That is the champion of champions out here. The woman of many belts, two-time gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist who represented the United States. And Remy Ma is not trying to sit up there and fight her at all. She knows better. She knows better. This is why Remy ain't really been saying nothing, because she will get done up real quick. Like I said, it's a difference between you being a woman and you being able to have a firearm on you as backup because you can't really fight, versus a woman who can actually fight hand to hand. Like I said, put them both in the ring and see what happens. This is why Clarissa Shields stated that she wouldn't be on these reality TV shows with the rest of these ratchet women, because she was like, if I'm going to be on there and they like to fight, I'm like, I need a clause that basically states if anything happens that she's not liable. Because unlike all of those ratchet women that's on Zeus Network, she can actually she can do a couple of hits and those women are no longer breathing. Because those women on Zeus Network like to sit up there and fire off, do this and do that, and rah, rah, rah. Clarissa Shields there, they're going to be trying to jump her because they can't do nothing else. And all of that hair pulling that they like to sit up there and do, that's not going to do too well, because I'm pretty sure that she can reposition herself real quick and throw a body shot or a haymaker. Those women cannot handle a body shot. Let Clarissa Shields hit any of those women directly to the liver. Oh, they would have thought that they was, giving birth. They're going to be on the ground, crying, squealing. Like I said, it's crazy out here. Sounds it's crazy out here. CC Jr. said can't get a fair toe to toe. Nope. Not at all. Not at all. You said she ran from Clarissa. Yeah. Sham said, LOL, I never watched this drama stuff. I don't like, so yeah, Sham, I would just sit up there and tell you, never watch that stuff on Zeus Network. It is brain rot. Just to be real, it's brain rot. And as I've stated before, I've been stating this for years, that it puts black women in a bad light, or the image of black women, because some people would say, like, oh, those aren't black women, those are immigrants, this is that, the third. Well, the image of black women, it puts the image of black women in a negative light, and they're getting paid for it. They're being celebrities, and they went to the extent of going to Africa. When I sit up there and tell you the clips that I've seen on X, where they went to Africa and they were fighting in front of, I think it was some type of, like, I think it was like a Zulu or some type of tribe in Africa. The look on the African faces said it all. And I'm like, yeah, if this doesn't give the black women out there who indulge in this like some type of firsthand embarrassment, I don't know what will. Because that's embarrassing. Like, they didn't know what to say. They were just like, wow. I was embarrassed. Because I'm like, whatever. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I've pointed out over time, and to try to help people to understand that the image of black women is getting misused a variety of ways, and other people are making money off of it, and to no avail. I really don't get responses on that, especially the same people that decide that they want to leave comments like these. They never tend to pull up and respond to those videos. or somehow, some way, it'll divert and it'll turn into, well, the only reason that this is possible is because black men allowed it to be, because black men were the first ones to XYZ. And I'm like, actually, realistically, we weren't, because there are images. I have images of black women during the times of slavery and after, where you have white gentlemen with black women that are topless. There are also images of European or Caucasian men with topless African individuals. Because again, I can't say who they were. I just know that they were part of a tribe, and I can't specifically give you ages, but they were there, hands and all. So if people want to actually be realistic, no, black men were not the first ones. We're not. We never were. But somehow, some way, people don't want to blame the actual source for how it is that these things necessarily take place. It always falls upon it's the black man's fault, and it's that's again, it's a crazy. Like I said, we need some chaos to break out. that's the main thing I can simply say. There has to be some type of chaos to take place. Uh, when it deals with a lot of these things out here, has to be, because like I said, people got to lose in order for people to gain some type of common sense, man. Like I said, it's a sad sight. It's a sad sight. And the only thing that I can sit up there and say, going back to this video that I gave out to y'all, is that to the black men out there, I hope the best for y'all, because there's nothing else I can sit up there and say. I hope and wish the best for those black men out there that decide that they want to intervene into any and every situation. As a black man myself, um, I've seen things where black men or black boys decided to intervene, just even let's say even in high school, and it was just an argument that a boyfriend or girlfriend were having. They were hollering, nobody was touching, and that you had guys that wanted to sit up there and intervene. And because of that, and because the girlfriend didn't want to be a cooler head at the time, basically, in a sense, egged it on, and now two guys are basically fighting directly over the girl. Just that quick. Other videos that I've covered of black men again deciding that they want to intervene, and they're no longer here. So, like I said, the only thing that I can sit up there and do is wish the best for those black men out there. That's it. That's all I got. Because, like I said, people ain't gonna listen. There's a lot of women out here I can give advice. They not gonna listen, and there's a lot of dudes out here, obviously, that's not gonna listen at all either. Up until it's time to pay the piper, up until it's time to actually lose, and then people want to go back and have regrets, but it's too late. Yep, it's crazy. Like I said, this is why I tend to stay directly to myself, because I don't have time. I made it a very, very long time due to very smart decisions that I've made in my life, and also by the way that my mother raised me. This is why I speak about her all the time, along with me also frequently talk to my mother every single day. Uh, this is why I speak the way that I do. Because if she would have raised me a different way, I promise you, I would not have been around to even be in 2025. I would have stuck my nose into somebody else's business, and I would have got dealt with real quick. And like I said, for me, just looking at it, I can't blame the other person, because realistically, I should be minding my business. Should be minding my business, because I am not a family, I'm not a friend, I'm not nothing to that woman. So why am I here? Why am I intervening? Why am I interjecting into two other people's business of which I don't know their history? So, like I said, it'd be like that. You said, oh, it must have already started, didn't it? Because that's another reason why I started the the stream because I was sitting up there waiting for that to start. Let me just see something real quick. Now I got to sit up there and zoom myself directly up. Why is everything backwards? I can't even see what this is. I actually gotta scroll over real quick because this is looking stupid. I knew it was going to start at like 1. Yeah, so as soon as you go directly into Diablo, you can skip the season. You just skip the season, you can skip the campaign. You don't got to worry about none of that because I tried doing this earlier and they sat up there and told me that yo, is there an update? Let me guess. There has to be an update that did not kick. Because why can I not log into the? Of course, there's an update. How large is the update? 10 gigs. Well, that's going to take a while. Of course. Of course. A horse is a horse. Unless it's Mr. Ed. But yeah, that's all you do. That's all you do. If I would have known they were going to throw a patch out, they should have. I hate when they do that. But whatever. But yeah, like I said before, it's crazy. It's 100% crazy. Hack said turtles. Yeah, I do have that. I would have bought it on Steam, but I opted to get it on Xbox. The rogue like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, which is actually pretty fun. I play with Casey Jones. So that's the character that I play with. I hope they actually add some other characters directly in that. It'd be great if they do. Ty said, what did I miss? Pretty much going over the comments dealing with the video, dealing with this video, and how a lot of people in that comment section were coming through calling men who disagree with them cowards or all types of other expletives because they didn't just want to recklessly throw their lives away for random women no matter what's happening. Because the main thing that I basically stated before, I put it to you like this. I wish Tonda was actually here. I think Gail was there. And Gail, you know the story that I'm talking about. Tippy might know as well too. It was if I can ever at any point in time, the moment I happen to take a break, I'm going to go through a lot of my old videos and I'm going to see if I can find that live stream. There was a live stream that was done where there was a black woman that was a security guard, and she talked about the many men that she had relationships with, and how all of them pretty much, I pointed out the fact that all of them have a problem, and that she has a type of men that she attracts. Right. So basically, long story short, the man that she's with now, I think he doesn't put hands on her, but it was like a verbal. No. He did put hands on her at one point, and then they had a fight, and then she said that was the last time that he did it. Right. So I guess that she won and all this other type of stuff. So he calmed down. So they just have the whole verbal thing, but she's still with that guy. Right. And this was like 3 to 4 years ago that this live stream happened. But she was coming to the stream and she was asking, how to get her daughter out of a situation dealing with abuse. And I'm like, you're trying to ask for help of a situation of what your daughter is in. And I simply told the woman, I'm like, yo, the reason that your daughter is in that situation in that relationship is because your daughter watched you. Your daughter watched you with the many men that you were with, and how it is that they were either verbally, physically, or both abusive directly to you. She learned from you the type of men to go for. She went out there, and her energy is calculated to the exact same calculations that yours is, and she attracted the same men, and now she's stuck in a relationship of which you want to help her out of. The only way that, and I told her, the only way that you can help her get out of that relationship is if you help yourself first. You are her teacher. You are her first teacher. And you gave her the wrong things. And now you want other people to be out there to help you rectify a situation of which you created by way of the way that you lived your life. For me, in my mind, mentally, I'm like, that's the stupidest thing in ever in life. It is nobody else's responsibility to save your daughter but you. You made this situation. You as a woman need to put on your big girl panties and you need to fix this situation. Help yourself, and then maybe you can help your daughter. And that's the way I look at a lot of these situations. You know, that's the way that I look at a lot of these situations. Like I said, it's crazy. Diabolical. Ty said, not you being toxic, Seji. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess. I guess. Rabbit said, yo, Seji, Mario Kart World is trash. Can't customize the carts anymore. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know why they did that. Like I said, customization, that was one of the best things that I loved about Mario Kart. I could just make the cart my own. Now I'm up here with the same cart, same tires, same this, the same that as everybody. I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit crazy. Won't be paying $80 for that. Radio says she actually came on your show. Yeah. Like I said, it was crazy. If the moment in time I can happen to go back through a lot of my videos and recordings and actually find it, I will. I will replay that and showcase that. I know a lot of people are going to sit up there and say that, oh, this woman is broken. This I'm not trying to hear excuses. This is why going from experience of literally talking to women like this is why I'm tired of hearing excuse. I never, like I said, for me, if I'm a dude and I'm in a relationship and I'm with a woman that's abusive, I only got myself to blame. No woman out here is going to sit up there and say, "Oh, Seji, you're just a he's broken. He doesn't know how to leave. He doesn't know how to get out. He has battered man syndrome." Nobody's going to say that. Nobody's going to feel sorry either, at all. So I'm just trying to, like I said, if we're supposed to look at everything equally, if we're trying to, gauge and judge every human being as a human being, then grace should be shown on both sides, but it's not. It's not. On one end, if you're a man in an abusive relationship with a woman, you're weak for not standing up and defending yourself. And then you're also weak for standing up and defending yourself against a woman. It's a double-edged sword, both of which are going to cut you, none of which are going to save you. But a lot of people don't understand that. And this is why I sit up there and tell people before that it's very tough for me to have empathy and sympathy when I know that a lot of women will run back to the guys who are endangering their lives. There was literally, like, case in point, this is why I brought up that other story before, and this is why I'm saying that a lot of the people that wrote comments like this earlier, they were nowhere to be seen when I did the other video where a woman was with this jailbird, and she successfully got out of that relationship. She didn't lose her life or anything, and she was able to find a guy that legitimately actually cared about her. When the old boyfriend, when the ex found out that she had a new guy, he did what any of those psychos would do. He came through there to sit up there and rectify the situation. He was going to take her life. The boyfriend, the new boyfriend that cared about that woman, lost his life in that whole situation. He didn't really have nothing to do with nothing, but he lost his life because he was associated with that woman. This is why a lot of guys tend to say that a woman's past, it does matter, because you need to know, as a guy, you need to know and understand the type of men that she has been with, so that if you're out there in public, you will know if there's any unforeseen energies out there that somebody might have eyes on you that you may not be aware of, because she didn't tell you that she got an ex that was a stalker. She has an ex that's abusive. She has an ex that does X, Y, and Z and all this. This is why the past matters. But you have a lot of women out here that would like to say, oh no, it doesn't matter, you shouldn't be worried about that, yada. No, when it deals with a man's life, he should always be worried. So because that man, I guess, did not care, he lost his life for lack of knowledge, for lack of information, for being ignorant. The only reason that woman did not lose her life in that instance was because her mother was there to stop the two men who broke into the house to try to end her life, because the dude was not brave enough during the time, the jailbird was not brave enough during the time to take his ex's life. He sent two goons. So the killing part about that whole story is, even though she found her perfect guy to be with, and then her ex showed his true colors, that woman ran right back to her ex and got married and gave him kids. And again, you got women out here talking about, oh, a man just needs to go out here and risk his life just because. Wow. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Judah said, do you remember the title of the video you posted of the woman who compared the Black American food to other African food? I couldn't even tell you. I wish I could. I wish I did a better job at making video threads so that I could just give you a link to it, and then you just got a whole host of videos up there. I got to get better at doing that. It slips my mind every single time. I can't even tell you. I could not even tell you. Can't even tell you. Wait, what happened? What am I missing up here? Did you know that the Red Cross and other organizations have different form of sections for African American blood? Oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah. Yeah. So interesting information here. Let me just put this out here. Because Ty brought this up, right? I knew this back in high school because the Red Cross would come to the high schools and ask students if they wanted to, donate blood and stuff like that. At the point in time, wait, did my mom say I shouldn't say anything? I think it should be fine, right? At the point in time that I was donating, right? I had a certain blood type, right? Universal. And for whatever reason, later on in life, my blood type switched. And I did not even understand it. I didn't even know that that was an actual thing up until I looked it up. And uh babies during the time of being inside of their mother, in order to, I'm just trying to go by verbatim, in order for them not to be, like rejected and all this other types of things, they take on the blood type of the mother so that they don't get seen or deemed as a foreign, type of thing. Babies technically are, but aren't, right? So they take on the mother's blood type. And then over time, the blood type will, I guess, change or go to what it was supposed to be. So, like I said, interesting note. Talking about the Red Cross and blood types and and different things of the nature. Because I was proud of my blood type. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, this is dope. Like I could really, sit up there and help out people and do this and do that. And then, when everything just fell down, I'm like, I don't even care no more. I was like, it ain't nothing special now. It's like there's no reason for me to, donate and do this and do that and and all that other type of stuff. But yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I was just like Sham, and I guess I had a late metamorphosis. Wait, radio, you said my sound went out? That's crazy. Wait. Gil was like, yes, y'all are. Y'all are aliens inside of us, parasites. That's crazy work, Gil. Crazy work. Um, so radio, basically what I was saying was at a moment in time, I was a certain blood type, right? Universal. And this is why I used to get calls when I was younger. They would sit up there and give calls because it was like, hey, do you want to, donate blood? Da da da. We need this, that, and the third because, we don't really got the other types out here. And, you're universal and all this other type of stuff and rah, rah, rah. Right. At a moment in time in one of my old IDs, it was like a Chuck E. Cheese wallet that I had. I think I had my Blue Cross, not Blue Cross. I had my Red Cross card or whatever it was that had your blood type and everything on there. Lost that long time ago. But I always had the memory that I'm universal, this is that and the third and whatnot or whatever. And then it came to a certain point in time where, for whatever reason, blood type switched. And I'm like, how does that happen? But when you actually look it up and what it's specifically called, you'll see that this is an actual thing. that takes place. The babies will take on the blood type of the mother so that they don't get rejected and all this other type of stuff. And then later on, they'll, I guess, go to their natural blood type or something like that. However that basically works. So, yep. Yeah, you said so as soon as I had said that before it had went out. That's crazy. Tim said Red Cross gave me and my family different forms because we lived in Europe during the mad cow in the 80s. Huh. Sam said, yeah, the problem is I can donate, but hard. Yeah, and that was the main problem. You're universal, so you can give to everybody, but everybody can't give to you. That's the one downside when when it deals with that. And for me, during the time, I didn't care. I'm like, it's dope. It's like I'm able to just help people. It's like no matter the landscape out there, and type O is one of the rarest blood types out there. And that's the thing that people don't even understand. It's one of the rarest blood types out there. And this is why a lot of these blood banks, they want those people to really donate blood because it makes it easier. Because everybody else, you got the AB positive, AB negative, and B negative. You got all those other blood types where it's like everything is real specific, right? But type O is like, oh, you type O, no problem. Okay, we can sit up there and use this, right? For the greater majority, we can actually use this instead of it being sliced off to, certain groups. So, like I said, shout out to the the type O folks out there. I used to be with y'all at the moment of time, but no longer. It's like being a Power Ranger. It's like I'm Billy from the Power Rangers. It was like at one moment in time, I was proud to be a Ranger, and then I just lost it. I just lost the power. Now I got to watch everybody else. I think that's one of the reasons why Billy is one of my other favorite characters because I have an understanding. I have an understanding of losing something and then having to watch, everybody else. Like it's crazy. It is crazy. Yo, Seasons, what is up? What is up? What is up? Said hi, Seji. Hello to you as well. Yo, Ash, what is up? You said, hold on, I'm trying to go back through, catch these comments. You said a man's essence is also seen as a foreign product. Apparently, it's not just a simple swimming race. The injected cells are also attacked by the woman's immune system. Yeah, they are. They are. They are. Tim said, I wish I could donate, but I got tattoos. Yeah. Yeah. And said type O is rare. Wait, let me go back. I'm trying to go by memory. Let me see. Rare blood types. Hold on. Let me go and correct myself. Hold on. Blood types. I mistyped that. Okay, so let me just read from the stats. So they said the rarest blood types is AB negative, right? With only about 1% of the population having it. Other rare blood types include B negative and A negative, each accounting for a small percentage of the population, while AB negative is the rarest among the main 8. Damn, it was 8 blood types? Jesus Christ. It's been a minute since I looked at a chart. While AB negative is the rarest among the main 8 blood types, the absolute rarest blood type is what? Is RH null, sometimes known as golden blood, with fewer than 50 known cases in human history. What is that? I ain't never heard of that. Let me just put this up there. Let me just put this. I've never heard of RH null. Like I'm thinking that that's something on a computer. Let me highlight this. How many people here have ever heard of RH null? Let me know. Because I got to put this in front of everybody just so y'all can clearly see this. Also, shout out to Will. This is why I love live streams, so everything can be corrected. I was incorrect on saying that typo is a rare. I mean, they did say that. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, type O negative is relatively rare, also known as the universal donor because it can be given to anyone in emergencies, especially for babies. Then under type O negative, you got O positive, most common blood type with 37% of the population having it. Right. So I mean, technically, it's we're both right. going back to Will's comment. Technically, we're both right. Type O is within the rarity of the other, 8 blood types directly up there, but it's O negative. But just type O, which positive, is something that 37% of the population, from what they stated, has. So we're both up there. We're both right. Um, let me see. Timothy said, "Is it bad? Is it wait? Is it bad the character I relate to the most is Gon from Hunter x Hunter?" Nah, Gon is actually dope. Gon had the whole thing with Gon is that he had, from what I can remember, that dude basically had some type of like curse attached to his ability. Gon is in a sense like Luffy. Luffy's fifth gear has like a lifespan type of thing. Like, the more powerful he gets, the more lifespan it basically drains. Nobody knows how much lifespan has been drained directly from Luffy. Um, so that's the negative caveat when it deals with Luffy's ability. The same thing basically with Gon, right? And Gon, as soon as you start seeing that dude, if he transforms, let him get angry. He transform and he starts saying, "Show me rock." You better clear into a whole nother continent. You better not be there. Because it's gonna be a problem. But the one thing I will sit up there and say that I don't think that people understand when it deals with Luffy is that you have people in One Piece that have certain fruits that can imbue people with more life or immortality. So even going back to the whole extent when Whitebeard was losing his life, I think he might have had cancer. Because for whatever reason in Asian animes, people are always suffering from a mysterious virus. Usually, I'm just gonna just call it cancer. It's usually cancer. Whitebeard, again, he was strong, but his lifespan was sort of kind of short because he ended up developing cancer, and he had to get certain treatments and in order to like relax, so he was out of the battle a lot. If certain other devil fruit users were there, or he knew that those actually existed, he would have had them on board, and Whitebeard would have went back to having yellow hair. Like, whoo, let me tell you, the Marine Ford arc would have been, let a young Whitebeard be out there. Oh my god. Blackbeard wouldn't have had a chance. My bad. I went into a whole anime rant and we were just up here talking about blood types. Crazy work. Sham said, "I got stalked by doctors when I was born. Um, and they wanted to do experiments on me when I was born, and my dad took me from the hospital that night." It's crazy. Ty said, "So Seji, here's the issue with that." Radio said, "I thought it was only 6." Yeah, I thought it was only 6 too. And this is me going back from when I had the whole blood types on, my refrigerator, like back, when I was younger. Ty said, "I have." Wait, Radio said RH the monkey blood. Gail said RH what? It's called RH null. Sham said they tried to send the police out, and my uncle is a doctor and intervened. Let me see. RY said not me. Shem said yes. RH null is not negative or positive. Wow. That's crazy. It's not negative or let me now I'm interested. Now I'm highly interested because that is, let me see something. Let me go to the blood donations. Let's see, what are the rarest blood types? So there are 8 main blood types, but some are rarer than others. The list below shows the percentage of donors of each blood type. O positive has 36, O negative has 14, A positive has 28, A negative has 8, B positive has 8, B negative has 3, AB positive has 2, and AB negative has 1. Woo! Jesus. Jesus. That is crazy. After A positive, it starts getting bleak. Let me tell you. That is crazy. Let me put this up there. Like I said, this is why I love also doing live streams, because we just start getting into other types of information, and it's educational. It'll give stuff to other people to just take back and talk about. Like I said, we talk about everything here, regardless of the topic. Yeah, I'm not sure if y'all going to be able to. I might have to hold on. Give me a second. Let me see if I can try to really do this here. I think that will be a little bit better. My bad. Excuse the smaller picture directly up there. Let me remove that one and then let me put this new one. This should be a little bit closer. Yeah. Okay. So y'all can actually see that one a little bit better. Right. But the one that they don't have on there, which is odd, right? And like I said, this is the reason that I love, in a sense, AI, because it'll tell you other stuff that you don't know nothing about that probably shouldn't even be listed. So they're giving you the main, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They give you the main 8 blood types up there, but technically we have 9 because you have the RH null. Let me just look this up. That is crazy. They said what happens if you have RH null blood type. They said people with RH null or the golden blood type may have mid to moderate uh hemolytic or hemolytic anemia since birth. This leads to premature destruction of RBCs and may cause low hemoglobin levels and lead to paleness and weariness. This occurs due to the structural defects in RBCs, like mouth like or slit like shapes. Huh. Why is golden blood so valuable? This means that because everyone has more Rh proteins than the Rh null person, everyone can safely and confidently receive this blood in transfusion. This is why golden blood is life saving in emergencies when blood transfusions is needed, but the patient's rare blood type is not known. Huh. Look at that there. I might have to do a video on this. Rh negative blood is rare because it has recessive traits, meaning individuals needed to inherit 2 copies of the recessive gene, one from each parent, uh, to express the trait. Additionally, the Rh factor is thought to have originated in specific geographic regions and its prevalence varieties across populations with higher frequencies in certain European populations, like the what is that? Basque country? What is the unhealthiest blood type? There basically is none. What ethnicity is golden blood? First discovered in 1961 in the indigenous Australian woman, Arnold soon earned the nickname golden blood, not because of its color, but because of the immense value in transfusion medicine. Huh. How many people in the United States have Rh no blood? The American Red Cross defines blood types as rare when it occurs in fewer than 1 in 1,000 people. Rh null is the rarest of these. Researchers estimate that 1 in 6 million people have R null blood. Some people may refer to Rh null blood as the golden blood type due to its rarity. Huh. Like I said, that's very interesting. That is very interesting. Very shout out to Ty bringing up a random topic and let down this rabbit hole. And I don't, you know what the funniest thing is? I don't think I've ever seen people do a video on that blood type. I'm not if this is if they say it is that rare where it's 1 in 6 million people. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people aren't even aware of it. And I'm pretty sure that you got those out there trying to make sure that they keep it like that. You know, like I said, for those people, I'll put it to you like this: if anybody out there has this Rh no blood type, you better be charging the Red Cross thousands of dollars for money because you got every right in the world to sit up there and charge them money. Your blood is literally universal, more universal than O. You can give that to everybody. But the other thing is, I don't know who they can accept blood from. That's the other thing. Because usually if somebody is universal, there's a downside. There's usually a downside. Um, let me see. Ty said RH null is extremely dangerous for the people without it. But they said that the RH null can donate to other people though, especially in emergencies. So I wonder how dangerous it would be though. Radio said, yeah, type O can give but can't receive. Many really type O is the oldest. That's why. Timothy said, which one is the golden blood that's in Scotland and somewhere in Europe? Um, Sham said, I've heard of it in biology class. You basically are born without any RH antigens in the blood. Oh, see, that must have been like a college course you took, because I went through community college and I did health and I was acing that. I don't ever remember them telling me about RH. Let me tell you. Timothy said Naruto is notorious for that mysterious illness and characters. Yeah, yeah, like Itachi. I feel like Itachi had like leukemia. I feel like that's what he had. Ty says, Seiji, think of the phrase null and void, and that basically explains it. Ah, okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. Will also said, look up what is that? Vestigial tails, and y'all gonna learn today. Wait, are you talking about the people that can actually grow tails or born with tails? Let me see. Vestigial. Oops. I probably spelled it wrong, but okay, yeah, it did it. Yeah, human cells. Yeah, I got pictures of that. Since 19. So let me just let people know what it is. This one right here. Um, Vestigial tails in humans are remains of tails that are present in early embryonic stages, but typically appear before birth. These tails found in some newborns are not true tails containing vertebrae, but rather fleshy protrusions of skin, connective tissues, and sometimes muscle. They are considered vestigial. I can't even pronounce it correctly. Vestigial because they are remnants of a structure that was functional in our evolutionary past, specifically in tailed ancestors. Since 1984, human tails have been classified as true tails or pseudo tails. True tails, also known as vestigial tails, are appendages covered in skin that contain connective uh, adipose and what is that? Striated muscle tissues, as well as blood vessels and nerves. Pretty much the way I'm looking at this like the Saiyans. Like at one moment in time, people were born, directly with tails, aka the Saiyans, having their connections to the great Orozu, right? The great ape, and then you lose that connection when you don't have a tail. That's how I'm summing that up, at this moment in time. Ty said RH null lacks all antigens in the RH system, which is very dangerous due to the rarity and how fragile the blood type is. I got you. Rabbit said, for some reason, anime producers don't like to use the C word. A character will have most, if not all, of the symptoms, and they still won't call it what it basically is. Yeah, I don't know why they don't just call it cancer, because it is. It's crazy. Radio said, don't have RH on that one. Ty said they can't even get transfusions because their blood will reject anything that has an antigen. Huh. Timothy said they probably don't list it because there's not enough to count. True. Will said, I'm AB plus at 2% of the population. Red Cross is always after me to donate. Yeah, I forgot what I am now. I would probably have to go to the Red Cross or whatever to see what I am. I could have sworn. Why don't they? I could have sworn you got eight. Don't they got? Hold on. Let me. Now I gotta go back. Because I could swore AO is a thing. AO blood type. Wait, let me see. AO. Uh, let me see. The ABO groups are systems that are done from the chromosomes. Whoops, I had that together. I could have sworn. Okay, so AO refers to a genotype and not a blood type. People with AO genotype will have type A blood. This is because the A allele is dominant over the O allele. And so even though they carry the O allele, it doesn't express itself and they will have the A antigen on their red blood cells. Huh. Okay. Because I'm like, if you got all these other blood types, then you should. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, if you can have A separate and B separate, and then you can have them be AB and AB plus and AB negative, I'm like, then you should also have AO, BO. And I'm like, obviously, I was horribly incorrect. O is just by itself. Huh. That's weird, though. That's very weird that you don't have a different versions of like, oh, you got different versions of like, of AB. Huh. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me tell you. Ty said ER and trauma. Radio said, yeah, the golden, all right, the golden monkey. Hey, shout out to the Saiyans. Radio said clones. Said, well, not in my area. The state I moved to didn't accept my license and wanted me to start over. Radio said just means it was golden because they were studying it. True. Timothy said 1 to 6 million. That's about what, less than 100K within globally? Yeah, probably so. I'm not doing the numbers at this moment, but I'm going to go with yours. Radio said they do their experiments in Australia. They have huge biolab areas there and maybe cloning, and what we have is RH now. True. Sham said they can only accept from RH people, which in the entire world is about 50 to 60% in existence. Timothy's saying transfusion medicine, not transfusion itself. Sounds like they use the golden blood for research, like horseshoe crabs. Oh yeah, because the horseshoe crab has, I think, was it copper in their blood or something like that? Like their blood is dark, if I remember. No, it's blue. I'm sorry, it's blue. Um, Sam said it was advanced biology AP in high school. I went to school for gifted and genius children and took a college AP course in biology for 2 years. We're not going to have, the same classes. You went to the school of Xavier for gifted children, and I just went to a normal public school. So there's going to be certain information I'm not going to, hear about it until, 10 to 20 years later. It's tough out here. Will Davis said, what race gets them? Hack said, as Seiji, the second coming to X-Files, had an episode about this. See, this is why I got to go back and watch the X-Files and all of my old TV shows. Gail said they don't call it cancer because if you don't say it, it doesn't exist. I mean, yeah, you got a point there. Timothy Persons, what is up? What is up? You said you are B negative. You rare blood types out here. Let me tell you. Ty says, depending on how long ago your last donation was, I could probably look it up. Yeah, that was over decades ago. That was over decades ago. That was, good Lord. I couldn't even give you a date. Like back during that time frame, that was like some Soldier Boy, DJ Unk walking out, type of era. That was back during the time when you might have also had when you outside of the club and you think I'm a punk, when you had Bone Crusher, Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2. Yeah, that's way back. That's the best point I can list video games for time frame. Can't give it a years, but I can tell you some video games. Will Davis said my point about the tails and the RH gene is white folks get them, but they call us. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're the ones that get the negative end of the stick, literally. Nurse Armstrong, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said that AO is a blood type. See, that's what okay. So I'm like I said, I'm not sure Mandela effect or what's going on, but I could swear to you that the last time when I was younger, I went to the Red Cross. I remember that they had this little mat. It was like this little chart. I had it on the black refrigerator at my old house when I was younger, and I specifically saw AO up there because this is why like a lot of my like when I'm talking to y'all, it feels like I'm like, yo, is this information even correct? I'm like, maybe I was incorrect, because I'm looking at what's online, but then I'm also dealing with what it is that I know that I saw during that time frame. So, like I said, I don't know what's happening, but I can tell you for certain that when I had that, I probably would even have to ask my mom because she's a nurse as well. And I would have to, ask her about that because I'm like, I could have sworn the AO was a thing. I could have sworn, but, like I said, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. We got Gail in the comment section saying, hit up that Cash App for Brother Seji. Donate to the cause. Like I said, if you love the content, you are more than obliged, to donate, 50 cents. and just, let it be that. Like I said, we are, we will take anything to to keep the channel running. We will take anything. Um Shout out to Gail. Radio said, yeah, O and A supposed to be the two older ones. Mathis Barnell said, yeah. Ty said, all my life I had to fight. Yep. Penny said, O negative. Okay, so you're O negative. Okay, so you're in the 14th percentile. I guess at this moment in time, because my blood type ended up changing, I guess I must be in the lower percentiles at this moment. I'm not sure what I would probably be somewhere in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in the last 5, somewhere in between those. I would more than likely have to go to the Red Cross and see what it would be. Timothy said they don't release a lot of info about that golden blood. Coincidence? I think not. That's facts. That is facts. Ty said ... early 2000s. Tragic. Ty was like, you old man. That's some cold blooded. It's cold blooded, brother. I'm old, but I feel and look young, man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I feel 19/20 every day. Let me tell you. Gail said at 12. Wait, at 12. Oh, you're talking about Sham when she was doing her college course. Yeah, Sham is smart. That woman is smart. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Timothy said, "What about the bacteria they found in Antarctica that's supposed to double your lifespan? One scientist that injected himself can't be found." Um, like I said, I'm pretty sure when I sit up there and tell y'all, go back and look at Elysium, and they got a machine up there called the Medusa that can cure any illness, and it can fix anything that's wrong with you. I'm telling you, all of the stuff that they are supposedly finding or telling you about now, they already knew about. The Rothschilds have an island down there, um, in Antarctica. Color me surprised. One of the richest families directly out there that really don't get any shine, don't really get talked about or mentioned. They have an island directly down there, named after them. So yeah, like I said, a lot of people know about these things. A lot of people in the know. A lot of people who are the elite of the elites. Along with the other hidden families that people don't happen to pay attention to. That all live in Europe, like vampires. Um, Sham said, "Yeah, I told you I'm nerdy. My dad wouldn't let me something, and he was worried about me. Right. While I was younger, so in high school and college, so he made the school do separate curriculum. Gotcha. Radio said, if you was old, then you should still be old, bro. You would think that. The Red Cross during a point in time told me different. Let me see. Oh my god. I would have to figure out if, because everything is, we lost everything in the house technically. So I'm not sure if my mom even still has the original paperwork when it dealt with me being born. Because I think if I remember correctly, she said that that has the information directly up there. Because I think at one point in time on your birth certificate, they would put your blood type directly up there, but now they don't do that anymore, or whatnot, or whatever, or information is missing, or something or other. However, it basically works. Um, but yeah, radio, I'm right there with you. I feel as though that I should still be directly up there, but the Red Cross had told me that I wasn't, unless they had things mixed up. But I'm not sure. Like I said, it's been a while. After I heard that directly from them, I stopped caring and I stopped trying to donate, and then I never, got those calls again. So it's been a long time since the Red Cross has ever tried to call me and ask me to donate. I used to get the what's name in the mail frequently. Hey, I'm telling you, Red Cross, when they want you to donate, they are knocking at your door. Knocking at your door. Timothy said that family has organisms 46 as a pet in their eyes. I believe it. I believe it. Um, Let me see. What is it? Sham said business analytics right now. My first job was a graphic artist when I was 16. Ty says, Seji, I can explain it. All right, brother. Explain away. Explain away. Uh this one Radio said, I never heard of people's blood type changing once you get older. Gail said, just kidding. I'm proud of you, Sham. Ty said, Red Cross mostly goes based on the parents' info and not the actual info of the child until they hit 18. Okay. Timmy said, wait, what triggered your blood type change? Because the change happening by itself is a rarity and it could actually happen again. Huh. Like I said, that'd be very interesting. D Money said the Red Cross was trying to XP farm Seji. This man out here. Ty said, so your blood type never changed. Their info linked to you just changed. Huh. Let me see. Somebody said I just failed this test. What do I get? I'm not even sure what you're talking about. What test? What test are you talking about that you failed? Let me know, because I don't have no test directly on a live stream. I just realized we technically been on here talking for 2 hours. I mean, for a good hour, whatnot, just on blood types, which is crazy. How that happened, I have not a clue. Ty said they probably just use your plasma and platelets and not the blood itself. Dr. Westside, what is up? What is up? You said, I just looked it up. If your blood type changed, it has to be under a very specific set of medical circumstances that are not influenced externally, like bone marrow transplants. Just File said, the blood test I didn't study. Wait. I'm confused. What you mean you didn't study? I just got this information, directly up here because we started going down like a whole, rabbit hole dealing with blood types and everything like that. Hold on, give me a second. All right, yeah, I'm back. Let me see. Nurse Armstrong said there was a type C, thus ABC, and they changed it to O. Huh. Now, why would they do that? Like I said, this is why I'm you know what? I'm gonna have to get a book on blood types. I'm gonna have to research. And I'm gonna try to go back as far as possible with information. Because like I said, dealing with like looking at blood types and information and stuff, this is very interesting stuff. Very interesting. Radio said we a bunch of nerds. Yeah, yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Ty said, but they changed the way they do the system a long time ago. So now they tell you your actual blood type, but you must have your parents' permission and more stuff to give. Okay. Ty said the FDA is on them. I believe it, even though I don't trust the FDA. But you know, D Money says, "Said you laughing, but you might be a mutant. You could be a real life black superhero." Look here, I've been trying. If that was the actual case, I've been trying to figure out what my superpowers would even be. I don't got nothing. I was hoping to be like Static Shock out here. I got nothing. I don't even got Darwin's abilities. The only if I did have like a mutant ability or power, the only thing I can sit up there and tell you is that I don't gain weight from like really eating food. I've been fighting all my life. Even as we speak. Even as we speak. Like I said, I learned a lesson. If there's a point in time that people want to do a what is it called? Not a diet. What the Muslims do, they take a break from eating. I forgot what it was called. Somebody will probably write in the comment section. Um, but yeah, if I do that just for a little bit, I'm automatically dropping weight. And I'm like, yeah, that's not what I was looking for. Now I got to do all of that. I got to eat all of this trash, just to try to get back up there. I think I just made it back up to like 159, but that's because I ate pizza. So yes, it's a struggle right now. Went from 155 up to 159, trying to get back up to like close to 165, 164. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So yeah, if anything, I guess that would be my mutant power. I guess. Thank you. Fasting. Yeah. That's what that's the term I was sitting up there thinking of. And I didn't even do that for that long. That was what? Let me see. I did because I was watching like this one video and it was talking about fasting and what the effects it would do within 24 hours, then 48 hours and things of that nature. I think I made it to a good 2 days and a few hours on water. And I'm like, okay. And I see what they were talking about where it's like, your body's going to, clear everything out. Right. So this is why if you happen to go to the bathroom and you look, you'll basically, see certain things there, particulates. Dealing with water, not dealing with anything else. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, this is very, very interesting. I'm like, I see why people fast because it does actually start to, clear things, out of the body and different stuff of that nature. I'm like, okay. I see it. And technically I feel like for me as a gamer, it's a little bit easier to do because you can just focus on different things. Like I said, I do videos every day, or every now and again I'll do a live stream, which takes up hours. Video games takes up hours. Me, trying to collect information or stories and articles and stuff that takes hours. So very easily for me to try to fast, I'm focused on other stuff. So the day is going to automatically blow past. For everybody else that doesn't have things that are pretty much time consuming, yes, it's gonna be a sloth, type of thing. It's crazy. Ty said, "My superpower is being petty." Oh, this man right here. Uh, Radio said, "Mine is spirit sensing." Jesus said, "Yo, what is up?" You said, "I recorded a 72 hours of no water." See, that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different type of fasting there. One day I'll probably sit up there and try that. That'll be a once in a while type of deal, but Ty said you had the runs and trying to play it off as in fasting. No, I didn't. I'm telling you, I did not at all. Not at all, sir. Sham said I do a tea detox. Tim said, I be fasting on the road trucking because there's nothing healthy out there. Yeah, that's true. When you're on the road, everything is unhealthy. The only way that you can get something healthy is like if you go by like a salad bar or some type of place like that. You know. But yeah. But yeah, I did tell y'all earlier that I wasn't trying to make this live stream that long, and inevitably, that's exactly what took place and happened. Crazy work, crazy work. And again, I don't know where Tippy is. This woman is always late. Let me tell you something. I can already hear her right now talking about YouTube didn't give her the notification. Diablo update is done. It was probably actually done 30 minutes ago. But we got caught up talking about blood types and everything like that. And I know we got people creating characters right now. Let me see. Left time to log in. I still have to get the DLC. I still didn't get that yet. That's a shame. That is a shame. Hopefully there is no specific missions that need to be done in that area. If there are, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. Purge your sins. Yeah, we're going to go. You know what? I technically do want to roll with the sorcerer, but I think we're going back with a druid. Going to make me a female druid again. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. I can't even fully see my screen at this moment in time. Let me see. I know y'all probably can't see this either because I'm sitting up here going through making characters here. Eye color, we're going to already have that as white or gray. Going to go for the Storm-esque type of deal. I'm probably going to go for that same hairstyle that I had for her last time. That wasn't it. Did I do that before? I forgot what hairstyle was specifically there. I think they had. I really feel like they gotta do better. We're just gonna go with that. And then you got the eyebrows. I really can't even see them at this moment in time. Hair color. Where is? They don't really have just a straight type of white up here. I don't know what that's about. I don't even know what that's about. Let me see. I guess I can always change the earrings later. Because she is a druid. Technically, that's more so Samoan-esque type of deal. That one is alright. So it's whatever. Yeah, I'm probably going to keep that. Yeah, that works. That works. We're doing seasonal character. Oh, we got to start off on the hard difficulty, of course. All right. But yeah, pretty much that was it. That was it, y'all. I'm not even I ain't even trying to turn this into a video game stream. But I'm technically already here. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Sham said, Bertha the Barbarian. Sham said, I showed you late 3 or 4. Tibby said, I'm late. This I can't believe you. Let me tell you something, Tibby. I don't even think I said your name 3 times, but I just called your name. I was like, I don't know where Tippy is. This woman is late as always, and here is Tippy being late. So Tippy said, what game is this? This is Diablo 4. Diablo 4. D Money said, nah, time for the video game stream. Pink says you check your IG. Radio said, Candyman. Yeah, usually if I can happen to call somebody 3 times, they will show up. I don't got to worry about Gail because Gail is usually there. Mo is usually in the cut somewhere, just waiting to snipe. People. A lot of people are normally here, so that's not something I got to worry about. Doing too often. Tippy is always late. Let me tell you something. Tippy and Miss Anderson, the 2 latest people that have been a part of the stream for the longest time possible. What in the world? Brother. Yo, that is crazy. Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I might have to cover that video a little bit later. Well, the one I just saw on my timeline. He said, check out. Okay, so a few videos directly up here. Oh yeah. You got the one up here with the schools and stuff. Wellness Warrior. Let me just see something real quick. Because I'm doing it from my phone, so I'm trying to. You're leaving the app. The website you're viewing is attempting to open. Let me just continue. I forgot. Let me guess. I would actually have to download TikTok Lite, correct? I think it's probably going to force me to do that. I don't think I can watch the video. I gotta upgrade to TikTok Lite. Oh my god. I don't even want to upgrade because I feel what just happened here? Why they ask me these random questions?
The Anunnaki have come back to Earth, and surprisingly, they appear to be tall, black men. Let's go, Karen, on the scene. Are you here? We came back for.
Oh yeah, those AI videos, yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, those AI videos is crazy. Let me tell you, those AI videos are crazy. Shan said, yep, your character looks so cool. I went sort. Why is it still playing? The video is actually still playing. This is why I be having a problem with some of these apps. I'm like, it should not be still playing at this moment. Anyways, Shem said, yep, your character looks so cool. I went Sork, Hydra build, and the Necro. I'm doing a minion build, going to make 2 OP characters like my Blood Necro. Money said no time. Can't even, let me see. Going to make a thick build. I mean, I like that's technically what I tend to do with characters. You got a lot of dudes out here that's like, yo, man, you a dude. Why would you make a female character? I like looking at my character, so I'm not trying to be sitting here just looking at a dude all day. So I'm just gonna be real. I ain't trying to sit and just look at a dude all day. It's like we're gonna build a character. I'm going to enjoy looking at my character. So, that for me, that's my thought process in it, and and different stuff like that. Now it's different if I could actually make a male character that looks just like me. That's completely different. I can sit up there, all right, got the like tattoo, da da da, or something type of stuff. Cool, but now whatever. But yeah, like I said, like looking at women, so I'm going to build a female character. That's what I'm going to do. Gail said, just because you said I'm usually here, I won't be for your next live stream. Wow, that's cold blooded, Gail. That is cold blooded. Rabbit said, Seji, might as well make a video stream. I'm down with that. Ty said, send me the link and I'll send it to you. Sam said, investing in my skills right now. Tippy said, hi. And Rogue, what is up? You said, getting Diablo 4 this month. Need a black clan to join. I mean, I don't really do clans, but I mean, I could, I'm down to sit up there and play, Diablo with you. What where are you getting it on? Are you talking about like PlayStation? Are you talking about Xbox? Do they got it on Switch now? I'm not sure. Are you talking about like PlayStation, Xbox, or are you talking about PC? Tippy said, what is this? It's Diablo 4, Tippy. Diablo 4. Third Eye said, I'm making a guy character simply for representation's sake. No, I got you. I got you. Yo, Zaire, what is up? What's up? You said, yo, Seji, what's good? Just got into graphic class. Can't wait until I get in to see what comes next. Yo, that is congratulations. Congratulations, Zaire. I am ecstatic for you. Like, yo, I'm telling you, this is going to open up a lot of avenues for you. Being a young man and going into graphic design and whatnot, like the way that everything is moving at this moment in time, you are in the best position possible. D Money said, it depends on the game. Something like GTA, I create a male character, but Saints Row, I created a female character. I got you. Radio said, he's saying clans with a C and not a K. No. That's how people usually talk on games. Rogue said, I hate joining guilds with white MAGA people. I'm in PS4 until December. Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah. I think you would have to, you're on PS4, so you would have to go through Blizzard. What was okay, so this is the other question. Okay, so for the people that want to see a video game stream, I need to know what channel are y'all are you specifically watching a live stream from? Because if you're watching from the first channel, if I do the video game stream, I'm going to be only streaming from the second channel. So you would have to go over to, the second channel in order to see the live stream. So that's the the only thing, directly with that. So I'm just, trying to make sure to put that out there to a lot of people. Third Eye said he's on Dragon's Dogma 2, made a male main character and a female pawn character. Okay, I got you. Yeah. So for Rogue, yeah, that's the channel. Because the way it is, if I go live and I have the screen set a certain way, usually this way, the way that you see the screen now, I'll use that on both channels, right? Usually, talking about news and everything else. Video game wise, I would usually just put that on just one channel. Like I'm not gonna, do both channels or whatnot, because it's only going to be, a few of us directly in there when it deals with video games and different stuff like that. Again, more relaxing type of stuff. So yeah, you will have to go to the second coming, and that is going to be the one that I will stream from. I have the title up there, Diablo 4 season, I think was this 9, and I'll do that. Ron said, I'm only putting my life online for women in my life. I hope you others have men in your life don't care about your feelings. Then we got Gail said, "Yeah, Ron is behind on live stream. He came up ultra late because we're like 2 hours and 14 minutes. 2 hours and 14 minutes. I'm like that threw me off at first. Yeah, dude is late. Ty said Gail Jones pretty sure they are. Yep. Ty said, yeah, they're way behind. Yeah, way behind. So that's also another reason why I was going to end this live and then do just the video game live. So for Tippy, if you are still here listening, and for anybody else, Seijihito the Second Coming will have the live stream. So just give me about a minute or two, and I'll swap everything over so that live stream be the only thing running. So remember, you got to go to Seijihito the Second Coming so that you can see the Diablo live stream. So that's what we're going to do, right? So let me just end this stream. So again, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all people that came through to the stream. Anybody that donate by way of live chat, what was it, Cash App or anything else, much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to all the members. Shout out to the anybody that's part of Patreon. Also, as D Money would always say, shout out to all of the regulars. Much love, respect, and appreciation. And so now we're going to end the stream and head into one of Tippy's most long-awaited streams, which is a video game stream. And we're going to finally do that. So I'll be right back. Just give me a few moments.